Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here tonight. Thursday night is going to be a big game on the NFL Network and CBS. It's going to be the Tampa Bay Bucs going up against the Atlanta Falcons. Tampa Bay Bucs, this year in my season preview, I basically said this is a team that I was going to give up on. I picked this team for the last 2 years. I was saying, this is the team that's finally going to put them over the top. One thing led to another. They ended up getting burned by their quarterback, and they traded him away last year to Minnesota, and I thought that might be a fresh start for him. And here we are a year later, and he's not even in the league. He couldn't even make the league as a backup for the New York Giants. I don't know if something got inside and messed up Freeman's head. He seemed like a good quarterback coming into the league. He had a good couple of years where he might have made a couple of mistakes here and there, but it's weird to see a quarterback like Josh Freeman just sit at home basically waiting for the phone to ring, seeing if ever it is going to come to ring. A lot of people saying the Bucs might be one of the worst teams in the league. They had an injury in week 1. Doug Martin went down. He was questionable for week 2 with a knee injury. Ended up not playing, and here we are. This is a Thursday game coming up fast off of Sunday. You got to wonder, what his status is going to be. I looked around. I couldn't find any sort of injury update on what's going down with him. But one thing leads to another. I'm not picking the Bucs in this game anyways. I'm going to be picking the Falcons. It is, heartbreaking to see how the Bucs lost last week to the St. Louis Rams. We were paying attention to this game at my work because I work with a big Rams fan, and the St. Louis Rams, basically were trying to hold on to their own lead. They got a good defense, so that was setting up for them as the Bucs were driving downfield. They converted a pass. And they were, moving the chains down the field, but there was an injury on the play. Because of the injury on the play, they had to stop the clock, which led to them taking 10 seconds off of the clock, which time expired, and the Bucs were not able to try for their game-winning field goal, which would have made the game 20-19, which I believe, if I can remember right from the highlights from Sunday, this would have been like a 30-yard field goal, something easy to convert. It would have been pretty basic for them, but the Bucs, they're not having a good year. They're 0-2 right now. I'm picking them to go 0-3 in here. The Atlanta Falcons right now, it's hard to really realize what's happened to this team in the last 2 years. They have a deep playoff run. They convinced Tony Gonzalez to come back last year. They have a horrible start to the season, losing Julio Jones, losing Roddy White. I believe Steven Jackson was injured for a little bit last year. Matt Ryan, a great quarterback, and they're going to have to really figure out what they're going to do to really rebuild this team. When you look at the Falcons' stats, offense is not a problem. You've got Matt Ryan bombing it out, averaging about 350 yards a game. Steven Jackson has been running the ball just fine. No touchdowns yet, but about 50 yards a game. Julio Jones over 100 yards. Roddy White over about 50 yards. So these guys have had big games. Devin Hester, is sort of like a threat in the back there for you. The Bucs, they got young Mike Evans, coming on as a wide receiver in the league. They also have Vincent Jackson. So, neither of these teams are really slacking in the offensive department. The decision is still out on Josh McCown if he's going to be a good quarterback in this league. Where did he go to school? I can't remember. I know he's from somewhere in Texas, if I can remember right, but I don't know. I had to watch highlights on YouTube to try and find the week 1 interception where basically he fumbled the snap, which led to the ball almost like spiking, him catching the spike and then having to throw the ball basically on the run, which led to the interception. I believe in week 1 they played Carolina. But, they were all over him. In order to watch this play, because YouTube had taken it down and I couldn't find it anywhere on the NFL site, I found one video which ended up being somebody who had gone and sort of put all of Josh McCown's plays, every time he didn't hand the ball off, every pass, whether if it was a completion or an incompletion, every sack, Just basically showing the things that, McCown had done in the game. And I watched this video because it was only about 6-7 minutes long. They cut all the downtime out of it. But Josh McCown honestly reminds me a lot of when Gabbard was playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He seems like a quarterback that is on the run for his life. I don't know anything about the Tampa Bay Bucs offensive line, but honestly, I would say this is the one thing that needs to be fixed more than anything. I'm still out if McCown is going to be a good quarterback in this league. That it seems like every pass that he made, whether if it was a completion or an incompletion, interception, it seemed like he was under under fire, where he had just basically 2 seconds to make any decision, and he was making some good ones. Basically, a lot of times he was getting the ball off. You can say it's a good decision or a bad decision. As this guy was getting sacked, it was like he was trying to have to throw the ball from, basically his back or from almost his knees. He's a master of the sort of underhand pitch or the sidearm toss to the running back, just basically saying just move the ball. Atlanta Falcons. When you look at their defense, they have some huge problems. And I know that the games that they've played have been against the Saints, which was the shootout. They've also been against the... who they lose to last week? They lost to the Cincinnati Bengals, which really put them on the map. I'm sorry, I apologize if I said it wrong. I'm not sure if I said it wrong or not. But they ended up beating the Saints in Week 1. And in Week 2, they lost to the Bengals, which really put the Bengals on the map as a team to watch. Some people had picked them to win their division, and some people had sort of just picked them to be there. But basically, this is a team that's giving up over 400 yards of offense, basically giving up about 300 yards passing, 100 yards rushing. They're going to have to get that way down. The Falcons' defense should be a lot better than that. Basically, I'm picking the Falcons to win it. Hopefully, this will be something that they can really... I don't want to say kickstart their season because they've already been, they've already won and they've already got 1-1. But to get another win in the division, show them where they compete, show them where they rank up. We'll have to see where we go from here. But Thursday, it could be a really good one, but it also could be a really, really bad one.